either the Chancellor or Ben.
Chancellor, in the collegead.org article, founder yesterday on ESPN 1420 mentioned that Mr. J was being forced out of his position because of the re-signing of Dave Arm's contract and also the inability to work with Mountain West and other conference cohorts. Is that a true statement or is that false?
Ben is resigning for personal reasons. He's not being forced out. He's not being forced out because of Gib Arnold or basketball or any of the other reasons that you suggest.
Chancellor, is it correct that the athletic director, Ben Day, was presented with a list of tasks to fulfill if he was to continue as athletic director?
I did not present him with a list of tasks.
Did anyone else?
Not that I know of. Is that true? I mean, I don't know who else. I mean, I've only been on the job for 3 or 4 months. I mean, maybe somebody else did.
Perhaps Mrs. J did.
That is extremely likely. But if there were such a list, I think I would know about it. So
When
it's
does the athletic director's contract expire?
the athletic executives don't have contracts in the normal sense of the word, as you know.
Yeah.
But the appointment period would have ended, what, June? Someone help me out here. June 2016? January 2016. So this is a resignation before the term of appointment would have been ended.
And so will there be any extra pay to him to depart?
No, we don't have buyout. The athletic director, unlike coaches, does not have a buyout provision in the contract.
What do you say to the community that may be a little distressed about this revolving door of administrators that we've seen? You've been on the job for a few months. You've been a new president. We'll have a new AD, a new basketball coach, a new cancer center director. I mean, people are a little exasperated at what they're seeing here.
I think each of those cases has to be taken separately. It's true that there's been a fair amount of turnover. However, I think we are developing a strong leadership team in all of those areas. It's in the case of athletics, I'm confident that we can move ahead with the search and that we can get a new athletics director. Turnover happens at universities, and it sometimes happens several things at the same time. But the university itself and the athletics program itself remains stable. I mean, if I could say something general about this, it's like there's an ocean, right? And there's waves and flurries on the surface. But underneath, things are basically sound. We have a strong athletics program, we have good coaches, we have good academics, especially for our students. We have good student athletes, and at the university too. Our university is a sound and successful university, one of the leading universities of the world. So I would not want to be excessively distracted by the waves and flurries on the surface of the ocean. Because deep down, we are a sound place, and that's true of athletics, and as it is with everything else.
Well, would you include the finances of athletics in that analogy?
The finances of athletics at this university, as you know, many universities, are being affected by not only local things, but also by the dramatically changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics. People have said that things may be pretty much unrecognizable in a couple of years, and that gives us special challenges, which we, as all universities of our type, of sort of mid-major kind of universities, are going to have to face. So one of the things that will need to happen now and in the future is we will continue to have that conversation. Hawaii, as you know, has special challenges because of our location. Travel is a special problem for us. But Hawaii needs a strong athletic program. It is part of what makes us who we are. And so we need to figure out a way to make that work. We will consider various models, but I'm confident that we will find a way forward on that. We'll be at a Mountain West meeting, Ben and I, a couple days. It will be interesting to share stories with other people in that area. So yes, there are challenges, and certainly there is a deficit, and certainly we need to figure out a way to move forward that doesn't have deficits. So it will be a challenge, but I think we're going to be up to it.
College AD reported that Parker Executive, which assisted in the hiring of NJ, would, after 2 years, offered to search for a new AD at no cost at all. Is the timing of this directly after 2 years involved in?
No, the timing of this has nothing to do with that, which I don't even know whether it's true or not. Frankly, that is completely irrelevant to this decision. Now that I've seen that rumor, it would be interesting to know what that deal is. It seems, I'd never heard of such a thing before, but anybody know for sure whether such a deal exists? But let me make it clear, that has nothing to do with this. Absolutely nothing. I read about that same place you guys read about it. So it's not, yeah.
What is your most recent contact with the NCAA regarding the basketball investigation? What can you share that it was in that communication?
As you know, the NCAA investigation is ongoing, and I really cannot comment on that any more than to say that things are where they are. We are waiting, and we'll let you know as soon as we have something we can communicate.
If Chow has 2 more years left on his contract, why are you making an announcement? Was there discussion you wouldn't be back?
There's been a lot of public rumors about Norm, and we felt that it would be best to make it clear what the situation is. It's true that the normal thing would be to continue the contract anyway, so ordinarily one wouldn't even bother to make an announcement, but frankly, from the email, from the discussions, that the rumors, the press, we thought it was important to dispel those unfounded rumors, that there was somehow a plan to buy Norm out. But there is no such plan, and I think it's important to be clear about that.
Were any plans like that actually discussed within the last few weeks? Was that a potential that Coach Chow would be out?
We haven't discussed that possibility. I haven't discussed that possibility.
You know what?
But I should say that these matters are a matter for the athletic director. Yeah.
Do you know what the new search for UAD would entail in terms of, I know you said the length you're not unsure of, but in terms of the process, the committee, as well as cost?
I'm not sure of that at this time, but within the next couple of weeks, we should have a clearer idea of what the process will be, and we'll certainly tell you what that is as soon as we've developed that.
Can you talk about what you think UH needs for its next athletic director? Ben Jay came here with a very strong financial background from a very successful and rich university that had a lot of money. What do you think UH needs now? You know, there are people who say we need someone with more ties to the business community, the legislature, so that we can raise more money for this deficit situation so we're not constantly in the red in the athletic department.
Over the next few weeks, we will need to engage in serious discussions about what we're looking for in an athletic director. I don't want to presuppose the results of that discussion. If I could clone Ben, I would certainly take that as a solution. But it's true that we face special challenges, so that not only because Hawaii itself, Hawaii has there are two sides to this. Hawaii has many unique advantages, especially the importance of athletics to Hawaii as a place and as a people. It has unique challenges, also due to our location, the size of the market, the many things like that. And so we need to work through the process to find an athletic director that can help us meet those challenges.
Is the chancellor empowered to make that decision himself without a committee or anything? To hire a new?
Yes, the chancellor The Chancellor is empowered to make, I think it's a recommendation to the Board of Regents, actually. But it could be done without a selection committee. I certainly do not have any plans to do it that way. It would make sense to have a committee to advise me on that matter.
So should you find a viable candidate before June 30th, would you guys then hire them, or are you going to wait until the current athletic director's?
I don't know. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. So far, that's not something in our plans, one way or the other. We'll cross it.
Is there any concern because of the revolving door that's been with the UHAD position that, you know, doing a national search is, how that's going to weigh in on your national search at all? It's, you know, we've been through what, like 4 or 5 in the last 10 years or so, and it's, you know, it's not exactly been a stable position.
I do not think we're going to be short of applicants for this position.
Using a search firm again?
The question was whether a search firm would be useful. Again, I'm really not sure now exactly how the search process will take place.
Theoretically.
I love those theoretical questions, right?
Theoretically, Ben Jay is on the job until June 15th.
Not just theoretically, he is actually on the job and in charge and serving as athletic director.
So he's not going to be here past June. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out he'll be looking for a job. If he lands a job, say in the next month, is the university prepared to speed up that process, to get a plan in place before the end of January, to start the search, to get a new AD before June?
As I say, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
You have a couple more questions?
Theoretic, you want hypothetical discussions, we
If you were
could
to
go
leave
on.
before that, are you obligated to pay him through June?
I would have to get back to you on that question. I have,
Is this
no,
part of
no,
the
no,
buyout-
I mean,
buyout?
again, you're asking a kind of technical HR question. My guess
No, just a
is that
theoretical
if
one.
someone, a theoretical, hypothetical HR question, if someone resigns and then moves up that resignation date, then you pay them up to the time they resign. I want to make it clear that an AD position is not like a coach. This is not a case of contracts with buyouts and provisions like that. It's like another job. It's like my job. If I were to resign tomorrow, that's when I would resign. But I really do think these are entirely hypothetical, right? We could also hypothetically ask if I were to die tomorrow.
Okay, real straightforward
Yeah.
question, just to be clear, maybe summarizing. So you're on the record saying Ben Jay is not leaving this position, his leaving this position has nothing to do with job performance?
His leaving the position has to do with personal reasons.
Will MJ be involved in the search for a possible men's basketball coach since the season will end before his tenure does?
Ben continues to serve as athletic director, so will continue to have the responsibilities of an athletic director. And that includes basketball.
Take one more question.
If UH is allowed to own the stadium and proceeds from the concessions, do you believe that would help the athletic director balance the budget in light of the financial situation?
To answer that question, would really take us too far afield. I mean, the question has to do with another hypothetical about the ownership and the arrangements of the stadium. Certainly, that's something that we will need to look at in the future, but there are many moving pieces in the whole stadium question.